All right, so thanks for being here, guys. Welcome to Team Forever Strong's weekly team call. Today is October 27th, just a few more days left in the month. And we are going to dive right in because we have a special guest here tonight. We have Anita Miron here with us, and we are so excited to have her here. She's going to tell you a little bit of background about herself before she gets going into it, but I wanted to introduce you to her so that you could hear. She's a really successful coach, guys, in the network. I love following her. So if you don't follow her, you should follow her on social media. She's just really authentic. She's raw. She is who she is. She shares her journey. And because of that, she's been able to reach such incredible success in this business. So she is a 15-star diamond coach. So she's a superstar. And for those of you who might be new on this call, that is the highest rank that you can achieve as a Beachbody coach. And I seriously think there's only like 30 in the company, Anita?
I think 32 or something like that. Yeah.
So crazy, guys. It's awesome. So she's a 15-star diamond coach. She is a top 10 elite 2-time coach. So she's been in the top 10 2 times. It's incredible. So out of the entire company in the top 10, she is a member of the Million Club, which means that she's earned over $1 million since she started her journey as a Beachbody coach. She is also a Success Club 10 legend, which means that she has hit Success Club 10 for 24 consecutive months minimum. How many months do you know off the top of your head? How many you've done it for?
40 or 50.
Oh.
Yeah, something crazy. 46, I think.
That is incredible, guys. So she's not missed a month. So she's helped 5 people to hit Success Club 10 for, like I said, minimum 24 months. And she just told you probably about 40 to 50 months in a row. So when we tell you guys that Success Club is the foundation for building your business, it's true, guys. Any successful coach in this business hits Success Club month after month after month. So we are super excited to have you here, Anita. If you wouldn't mind just kind of starting off, just giving us a little bit of background information about yourself and how you get started. And then she's going to dive right into how to get organized with your business, which I know this is something that myself and a lot of other coaches on the team struggle with. So I have my notebook here to take notes, Anita. And you can go ahead and take it over whenever you're ready.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. It's funny to hear the shiny accolades because, you know, my story is so much more complex than those numbers. The story is just so much more, to me, more important. So I want to share with you that story and how I got to that point of 15-star and Million Club. So I've been a coach since 2012. I joined strictly for the discount. I was 210 pounds when I had my daughter. I was experiencing some postpartum depression, anxiety, and I just really wanted to change. I saw my coach online. She was a family friend, and I saw her posting all this positivity on social media and all these great posts about health and fitness and wellness. And I just wanted to be surrounded by somebody like that. You can actually follow important people on social media that are important to you. Well, I actually chose to follow Leslie, who's my upline sponsor, over family members. I was like, some of these family members were negative and not so exciting, but I had Leslie as an important person to follow. And I followed her for 1.5 years before I actually dove into coaching. She had talked to me about it several times. She introduced me to P90X. She introduced me to Shakeology. She sent me samples. She stayed on top of me for 1.5 years. And if she did not do that, I would have never joined. So that's a big, big red flag and a tip for you guys. So I finally reached out to her after having my baby, and I said, okay, Leslie, I am ready to do this. I'm ready to do the health and fitness side. I'm not so sure I'm ready to rock this business, but I really want to change. So I bought Chalene Extreme and Shakeology, the challenge pack, and I got started right away. And within 5 months, I lost 60 pounds. And so with our Beachbody programs and Shakeology and being proof the product works, I lost a total of 70 pounds. And I got to my goal weight and I got stronger and healthier. And you can imagine when something works that well for you, you want to shout it from the rooftops. I was telling everybody about this and giving tons of people, information about Chalene Extreme and Shakeology, but I wasn't working the business. Finally, my coach said, Anita, you're posting your results, you're sharing every day. Why don't you run a challenge group? Why don't you try to do this coaching thing? So I said, okay. So I got lucky, not really lucky, but I worked hard and I found 5 people to join my challenge group and join with the challenge pack. And these were close friends, close family. So for those of you who are newer and haven't started your first challenge group yet, know that sometimes it comes down to the people who are closest to you. So it was my husband, my best friend, my cousin, my mom, my neighbor. I mean, whoever I could get on board. And I ran my first challenge group with them. And I remember getting my first couple of paychecks from these sales and thinking, holy smokes, I get to help people and do something I love and I get paid for it. I remember showing my $100 paycheck to my husband and he was like, oh, great, honey, that's nice. And I was like, but really, I could do this like all the time and this will build. So I just focused the next couple of months on hitting Success Club 10, finding 5 people, and boy, was it ever hard. In those first few months, you really have to pound the pavement. You really have to talk to a lot of people that you know. And I did. And I found 5 more. And I just started to see that income compound. And I was working full-time and I had a 2.5-month-old baby. So I made this work around them. And so it made it my goal after a couple of months of I wanted to become a diamond and I wanted to leave my full-time job. I wanted to match my income. And it wasn't hard to do because I had a teacher's salary. I wasn't a teacher. I was actually in sales, but we had a base salary. So my base salary, I wanted to match my base salary. And so I did. Within about 10 months of working the business, I was able to match my income and leave my job. And that was a very scary leap of faith because I lost my insurance and I just came home and I was like, okay, so I have to do this business full time. Well, part-time around my daughter. And when I got to that point, I was like, what do I do? Because I had a system in place for then. Now I needed to create a new system for doing this business with a kiddo at home. And that proved to be harder than with a job. I was actually able to really work my business at my job because I was at my desk a lot and I had lunch break. And so I didn't have a baby to be like watching after and bouncing around constantly. And so it was even harder at home. So I had to create a system for myself and I had to create a way to make this work. When I got home, there were a few weeks where I remember feeling almost depressed, like anxious, low, because I wasn't going into an office anymore. I wasn't organized. I was like a chicken running around with my head cut off. I had no systems in place. I had no idea what I was doing. And I had to figure it out because this business depended on me my family depended on my income. And so I had to put a system in place. And I'm fortunate that I had a previous career so I could use a lot of the things I learned in that career and bring it over to my Beachbody business. So I'm going to give you 5 main tips for staying organized in your business and treating it like a business, getting to a point where you can get a system in place and really rock your business. Okay? So my number 1 tip for you, and this is the number 1 thing I had to sit down and figure it out, was I needed to work from a list. I needed to have a day-by-day schedule, hour by hour. Every minute needed to be dialed in. I had to have something planned for every minute of the day because if I wanted to make my business work and be a present mother, I had to work from a list. And so the night before, I would sit down at my Google Calendar, which is a really great golden nugget for you guys. Google Calendar is great because it will actually interrupt what you're doing and tell you it's time to move on to your next task. So every night I would create this Google Doc or Google Calendar, and it would give me a play-by-play of what I wanted my day to look like. So I'd wake up and this is me switching from treating my business like a hobby and treating it like a business, okay? So I had to take it very serious. So I would wake up and I would chug my Energize. Hold on, I need a sip of water. I would chug my Energize, just like I chug my water. And I would pop my workout in and I would kill my workout. And this would be at 5:30 a.m. And I would make a post on social media about my workout. I was being proof the products work. And then I would send out my invitations to my challenge group. And then I would plan my next post. And then my daughter would wake up. And I would have all that done by 6:37, and she was up by 7. Okay? So at 7, I didn't want to be the type of mom that missed out on everything and was on her phone the entire time. So when she was up, I put away the computer, I put away the phone, and it was about Scarlett, who is now 4.5, but at the time she was my little baby. And so I took time to be with her. I would feed her, I would change her, I would play with her, cuddle with her. I was nursing, so I would nurse her. And sometimes when you're nursing that age, you're on the couch all day nursing. So then she would go she'd have her nap time, and I would be back to work. It's time to work my Beachbody business. And guys, I skipped out on taking naps myself. A lot of people will say new moms should take naps with their babies. I just didn't. And maybe I paid for that in the long run, but I didn't sleep very well in the first 2 years of my daughter's life. She was up all night. I have no idea how I didn't lose my mind, but she was up all night. So I was tired. I was exhausted, but we'll get to how I kind of combated that. Lots of Energize and a lot of coffee. So she would go to bed and I would be back at my computer doing my personal development, following up with people, making another post, drinking my Shakeology for lunch, and adding people to my network. And then she would be back up 2 hours later. So I'd get all that done in 2 hours. And she'd be back up and it's back to focus time on her. And then I would do laundry, do household cleaning stuff. So I made sure that, like I said, everything was dialed in. And then golden nugget number 2, I signed up for a YMCA membership. And I did this so that I could get free daycare. I would take my daughter there later in the afternoon for 2-hour watch. This cost me $45 a month, which was the best investment I ever made because it gave me an added 2 hours to work my business. So I had 4 hours a day of uninterrupted business time. And sometimes she wouldn't take a 2-hour nap, sometimes it'd be a 1-hour nap, but I at least got 3 to 4 hours a day. So I'd take her there and I would go back to my to-do list and I would message people, I would invite to my challenge groups, I would add to my network, I would check into my challenge groups, I would post again. And then it was, back home, focus time on my family, focus time on getting dinner on the table, things like that. So I made sure to be very, very diligent with my time. Time is money, time is important. So I was on top of that constantly. So number 2, ask for help. So I'm not telling you to go out and hire an assistant and put your kids in daycare. I'm telling you to perhaps, like I said, maybe sign up for the YMCA, the 2-hour watch. For us, it was income-based. So because what we did, we got a $45 monthly fee. But, maybe ask a parent to come watch your kiddos, or ask your husband at night to do a little extra around the house, like dishes or putting away laundry, asking your husband to put the kids to bed during team calls, like my husband is doing right now. He's putting the kiddo to bed while I'm on here. asking, your husband to do a little extra load of laundry or put dinner on the table, something to take something off of your plate. Coaches ask me all the time, what's the number one way that I can invest in my business? How can I put money back in my business? I've made a budget for myself. I'm going to put my money back in my business. I always say, find ways to get help. So hire somebody to clean your house once a week, hire somebody to watch your kiddo a little bit. There's always ways, there are always ways to delegate. Nick is like the housewife now. Poor guy does all the cleaning, laundry. Yep, that's how we are in my house. My husband does all the housework. Like right now, he does the lawn care. He does the maintenance in the house. He does my laundry. His main job, and he works the business too. He's his star diamond, but he mainly focuses on the family and the house. So that's where we've gone now. But I mean, before he had to work full time, so he was very tired when he got home, but he saw the potential in the business, and I told him the potential in the business. And you have to communicate that with your spouse or whoever you live with, that this is important to you. This is something that you want to put your focused energy into, and they need to be on board with you. Okay. So my number 3 tip is to calendar for your month. I'm not going to do the training on here, but I will tell you where to find the training. It's called Strategically Planning Your Month as a Beachbody Coach, and that's on YouTube. And it's by me, and I tell you where to place things in certain times of the month to organize yourself, to make sure you're constantly inviting people to events. That's really the name of the game, is always hosting some sort of event and inviting to it as much as you can. Okay? So go and watch that video. The key to it's called Strategically Planning Your Month as a Beachbody Coach. Yes. I cannot tell you how helpful, it's just been such a huge help to my team to be able to have a system in place, to be able to say, okay, we're going to do free clean eating challenge group this time of the month. We're going to do a regular challenge this time of the month. We're going to do a sneak peek this time of the month, and so on and so forth. So get ideas from that video for sure. My number 4 tip for you is to make sure that you are duplicating what you are doing as a coach. Make sure that everything that you've set in place to help you achieve Success Club and you achieve success in your business is duplicated. So put together documents or videos. My number 1 tip for time management is making videos, because you're not going to have to repeat yourself over and over and over again to people with answers. I have made a video for every question that a coach or a challenger has ever asked me. If they ask it, I make a video. And that way I have a library of videos that I can draw from to give to people who need their questions answered. It's brilliant. And then it's much better to watch a video with a question than to hear me type or read it typed out. It's much better to hear the tone of voice and, what the person is saying through voice. So, and your facial expressions. So make videos. If you go to my YouTube, Anita Miron, you'll see that I have a video for everything. I have come up with a video for everything. And people will actually find you through videos. And if you're a brand new coach, get into the habit of making videos at this point for your social media. Go live. And what I mean by that is make videos of you working out, sweaty selfie videos. If you scroll my YouTube or my Facebook, you'll see that there's a video of me working out almost every day to every other day. So make sure you are on top of videos, and you can even practice by making videos for your challengers. And if you just are too scared to make videos, just talk to yourself in a video. Get used to it that way. And my last tip, number 5, is balance between family and business. So all these things that I'm telling you now are so important, but the reason I tell you them is so that you can balance being a mom, a wife, a best friend, whatever it is that's important to you, an employee. Balance the things in your life that are important with this business, because you do not want to lose everything because, your business. You don't want to resent your business. You don't want to resent other people because you can't work your business. So you need to stay organized and make sure that you have a system in place to work your business. Because nothing matters if you're unhappy in either your business or your family life. If you've had to sacrifice family to make it happen in your business, it doesn't really even matter. Okay. So when you're making that list and you're, from tip number 1, make sure you're including family time in there and things that are important to you and your family. Make sure that you've got dishes and laundry and putting the kids to bed and, waking up with the kids and getting them ready for school. Make sure that you keep family in there and keep it balanced. So, bonus tip, if you are trying to create a business and you are, adding people every day to your network, and you are inviting and you are following up, you need to work from some sort of system. For me, in the first 2 years, I'm going to blow your mind. I worked from pen and paper. I filled notebook after notebook after notebook. And let me just prove the point to you that I still kind of do this. I fill notebooks up, and I use this as my way of staying organized with my prospects. At this point now, I've gotten a newer system down, but I'm not going to train you on that because that would blow your mind, way blow your mind. But I became an elite top 10 coach in, 15-star diamond using notebooks. So basically what I did was every page was for each day, and I would date it. And I would buy these little tags or tabs, and I would put them on the outside so I have the dates. And I knew that every notebook was for a new month. And so I had a month filled. And every month I would go back to the previous notebook, and I would use that notebook as follow-ups. And so I would have this whole library of notebooks to use for follow-ups. And I would have tabs so I know, okay, it's been 3 days, maybe I'll go back 3 days or a month. So I just kind of have my own system in place. But you've got to have some sort of system like notebooks, or Excel spreadsheets can become very complicated, and that's just not how my brain works. But yes, notebooks are for me the way to go. I every month I have a new notebook, and I fill it up with prospects, and I go back and I prospect on those people. And I keep a notebook for new coaches, so I have them written down and I know to talk to them. And also, when you're onboarding a new coach, you got to stay organized in what you're doing to onboard your coach, to bring your coach onto your team. So that's definitely something you want to sit down with your upline sponsor and talk about. What were the tools that you gave me to onboard? Can I have them for now so that I can give those tools to my new coaches and help them come on board while you're creating your tools for onboarding? And creating tools for onboarding is going to be so simple here soon, because we're about to have the first 30 days program from Beachbody. Is it out yet?
I don't think it's out yet.
Okay. We're about to have it. And so that's going to be your onboarding process. And that's going to make life so much easier for all of us. Because recreating the onboarding process is, it's massive. So at this point, I wouldn't recreate anything. I would ask your sponsor, your upline, for what they use. We have a team website, and it's open for the entire team. So my entire team uses it for our onboarding. So, but yes, that's it for me. I would love to open it up for questions. Does anybody, I see questions. Okay. When we're ready for questions. Thanks so much for being here with us, Anita. What rank were you when you left your job? A diamond. Yeah, I was making pretty good money as a diamond. I had 50, 60 coaches and 2 emeralds. I had a ton of coaches before I hit diamond. And I was making a pretty decent retail income too. I had built a very good Shakeology customer base. My YouTube channel is called Anita Miron. Okay, any other questions? Do you guys have any burning questions for me?
I actually have questions written down here from some of the coaches that sent them over to me before the call. So if you don't mind, I'll read them off. So first one, what would be, and it's not necessarily about organizations, so I hope you don't mind, but best tip or advice that you would give for a brand new coach to have success?
Make yourself look like a coach. So go follow coaches that are successful and kind of see what they're up to and get inspired. So when I was a diamond, I looked like a 5-star diamond. You would have never guessed I wasn't elite. People were shocked when they joined my team. They're like, I thought you were an elite coach. Because I had a professional headshot done. I made my cover photo very cute and attractive. And my posts were very well put together. And I put in my, in my bio, beach body coach. And, I created a blog and I put it in my bio. So it just made me look a little more legit.
Okay, yeah, thanks. I think it's so important to do that, to always act as if you're already there at that point, where where you're going, and act as if you're already there even though you're not.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's another question right down here. Do you still use the notebooks?
I do. Yep. I use Google a lot for, or not Google, Gmail, and I use labels on my Gmail because I do a lot of email stuff, but notebooks primarily.
Yep. I still have my notebooks. I have like my 5 subject notebooks, and each section is like the people I've talked to, the people I'm following up with, the challengers. I have so many of them, but I just recently started like just transferring like some of the names just onto a simple just Excel spreadsheet. It's nothing fancy because I can't do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it just kind of keeps it all in one spot. It's just really whatever works for you guys, whatever's going to keep you organized and keep you on track. Like some people talk about Teamsy and all that. That just wouldn't work for me. I totally need to be the person who writes it down, checks it off, crosses it out. So just do what works best for you. Somebody just wanted to ask here, what makes a well put together post?
That's a good question. So you need to have a photo, and photos need to be in decent lighting, decent angles, as good as you can get as far as angles and lighting. And your posts need to tell a story. So your posts need to talk about, hold on, my light just went out. I am more of an examples type of gal. So let me just screen share real quick. 1 second. Okay, I just so happen to be on Facebook. What do you know? Okay, so let's give you an example of a well put together post. That's a well put together post. It says a story. I'm in the picture. I don't look that amazing, but I'm put together a little bit there. Did pretty good, 691 likes, but I'm talking about going to the OBGYN. I'm painting a picture. I'm telling a story. Here's a good one. Court of Force, day 3 in the books. Bam. So proud of my boo for getting up this morning and doing this with me. Just a simple video of us doing Court of Force together. And, painting a picture about that. I was on the news. You guys should go watch it. This is a good post. Mama needs her shake. This is my day 3 of having kid at home. She's telling a story. Kids are home with sick tummies. This mommy barely has time to take care of herself. Thank God for my power nutritious shake. So that's a really good post. It's good lighting, good angles, and she's telling a story. If you want, just go look at my Facebook and you'll see I've been tagged in a few coaches' posts. So just get ideas from other coaches who have had success in the business. You're welcome.
Yeah, you do an awesome job with that. I mean, how many followers do you have on your like page? Isn't it like 100,000 or something?
89,000. Yeah.
So guys, a lot of people follow her. So she's somebody good to follow yourself, because you want to be adding value every day so that people want to go back to your wall to see what's going on in your life. Do you know what I mean? Like, you want to be that person where people are like, what's she up to today? She's always adding value. She's always saying this, that, and the other thing. And that's how she got to that point, which is crazy. I can't even believe that you have that many followers. It's awesome.
Yeah. And this question's a great question. The balance between the two. I just do the same post for both. Okay. I have different followers on different pages. So, it's different on my personal page. It's different on my like page, different people, but I just do the same posts. I don't get too complicated because I would be sitting here all day figuring out posts if I did different for both.
All right. I have 2 more questions written down here from coaches. What were some of the temporary sacrifices that you made at the beginning to have success?
Oh, yeah. It's a great question. I didn't go out to date night. I had no friends. I had friends, but I told them, listen, I am on a mission to make this business work. It's taking off. I've got to stay home. I got to work this thing. And my friends understood. And my husband understood. I was like, I'm serious about this business. I want to make it work. So I'm not going to watch hours and hours of television and drink beer on the couch with you. I'm going to work my business. As much as I wanted to do those things, I made a sacrifice. So I did something different than anyone else so that I could live different than anyone else now.
It was all worth it though, wasn't it?
Yes.
Couple more questions here on the side. Do you see them popping up?
Yes. What does a conversation sound like when you are adding new people? Thinking back 4 years to back when I did this, because I don't do this anymore. I run ads on my like page. That's how I get followers at this point. But back then I would add people and I would just flat out invite them to a challenge group. No shame. And I would get to know them by talking to them about the challenge in the conversation. And sometimes I would just have a conversation with them and follow what's called family occupation recreation. I would just go through that. And I would sit for hours some nights and just talk to people, just have conversations. And then I would eventually invite them to a challenge group. So it took a lot of time. It took a lot of family occupation recreation over and over and over again. I don't really follow a posting schedule. I used to always post 9 a.m. or 5 a.m. was 5, 9, 12, and 7, something like that. I would just post when I figured other moms were getting on the computer. Any other questions?
Right here says, at what point did you make your like page and start working from that along with your personal page?
I was about 7 to 8 months in. Was when I started the like page. I was a year in when I figured out how to do it. So it took a lot of trial and error. I lost a lot of money on ads because I was always trying to figure out how to make ads work. I'd sit there for hours trying to figure it out. And I figured it out. For me, it's about boosting posts that add value by getting a targeted audience. And then I would boost posts to people who like my page and their friends for things that are where I'm trying to, promote things. So is it just when we all do the workout programs together and cheer each other on? No. What do you say when someone says, well, I can just buy it cheaper off Amazon? Well, I always tell them about the value of a challenge pack. Because the value of a challenge pack is incredible. You can get the 21-day fix for $10 when you purchase Shakeology. And oh, by the way, Shakeology replaces one meal a day for 30 days at just under $4.50. And so when you look at your budget and what you're typically spending on lunch, you're looking at spending just about the same. And so you're replacing something already in your budget. So it's like you're getting the 21-day fix for like $10. That's kind of the way I project the value. If you're getting it on Amazon, you're not getting the same value as a challenge pack. And you get to work with a coach and be in a challenge group when they purchase a challenge pack from you. It's such a better experience.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I know for myself, it's like I had started so many things in the past and I never ever made it through the whole thing because I'd quit because I'd be doing it on my own or I'd get sick of going to the gym. But then when I started this and I was plugged into the, the challenge groups, getting that support and getting the daily accountability with other people on the same, journey as myself, just cheering us on, it's like, you can't fail,
Exactly. Kimberly wants to know what a challenge group is. Well, I hope you get added into one. You probably want to ask your coach to put you into a challenge group ASAP so you can see what a challenge group is like. But a challenge group is basically a group of people doing a program and drinking Shakeology and rooting each other on, motivating, and the coach does things to inspire, motivate, and support.
And Kimberly, our team one is going to start on November 7th. So I'll always put too, if you look in the cover photo of our team page, we'll have like the dates from when all of our free clean eating groups are going to start and our 21-day fix groups and any other challenge groups. So keep an eye out for there. And then we'll get you added into that one. But it's awesome and it's so much fun and you just get lots of great tips and everyone is just so supportive and it really is the key to helping people reach their health and fitness goals.
Yeah.
All right, I have one last question before I let you go because I know you're feeling probably so sick right now.
It's okay. I'm actually fine.
Oh, good. That's awesome.
Oddly enough.
We brought you some good luck. If you could just kind of paint a picture for everybody about how different your life is now compared to when you first became a coach, that would be great.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I would say the number one difference is financial freedom and the freedom to work something that I enjoy and I love. I had a job that I hated. I was reporting in 9 to 5, sometimes 8 to 6. I mean, the hours were crazy. I was exhausted. I was working for somebody else, helping somebody else create a dream. And there's a definite income cap. So we were just making it by. And there were times we weren't making it by and we were living paycheck to paycheck and we were just constantly stressed out about money. We're constantly budgeting, constantly making budget mistakes and then having to reevaluate, constantly getting collections calls. I mean, it was constant. Bill collectors are always calling us. And now we just don't have that stress. We have been able to pay off debt. We've been able to both leave our jobs and work from home together. Our life is pretty chill, whereas it used to be this chaotic mess. And now we get to focus on one-on-one time with our family. When my daughter comes home from school, I'm not tired and too tired to play with her. I have energy. I'm present. I can stop what I'm doing and just be with her. And before I would come home from work and just be so flat out tired that paying attention to her was a job. And that's not what I wanted for my family or myself. And so that's the big difference is that I could really focus attention on her and focus attention on my marriage and just really be present. And so that's the big difference. And I love what I do. And it gives me the opportunity to help people. And I wasn't doing that in my previous job. So there's not a lot of jobs that you can say that you really change and impact lives the way I do or the way we do.
So true. We do have an awesome job, guys. And, I love looking to people like you, Anita, and to the other leaders in the company that are doing incredible things because I know that if I just keep showing up every single day, that eventually, I'll be there too. And it's just incredible. It's awesome when you look to people like yourself and the other leaders and think to yourself, my gosh, this is so real. This can actually really happen, guys. You just have to stick with it and be patient and trust the process and show up and take action every single day and the right action to actually move your business forward.
Absolutely. Yep.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here. And Anita, thank you so much for coming on the call tonight. We were so excited to hear from you.
Thanks for having me.
You were amazing. And I hope that you start to feel better and they can get to the root of this problem so that you don't feel so sick every day.
Yes.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for being here and have a great weekend. Bye, everyone.
Bye.